through my personal and professional experience, I noticed that people, including myself, have a tendency to dwell on the past, especially bad stuff that happened to us. I believe that it is a matter of what happened for us, it's not what happened to us. Today, I'd like to give you an actionable tool to process our childhood trauma and reinforce the positive beliefs and your thoughts. So let's dive in. Hello, my name is Hong Jung. I'm a licensed therapist based in Los Angeles, California. I hope all is well. This is our virtual therapy session 3 on how to overcome childhood trauma. I am a big Marvel movie fan. If I just watch Avenger Endgame without watching previous Avenger movies, I'll be very confused. So self-healing is it is very gradual and ongoing process. In our therapy session, I'll ask you a set of questions and give you time to process and digest each question. So please pause the video and give yourself enough time for each question. Alright, let's review. In the down description box, I'll prepare a set of questions. So please pause the video and review your progress. Alright, another session on childhood trauma. We spent our last 2 sessions to raise awareness and gain better understanding on the way our brain evokes different survival responses. So today I'd like to help you use your higher brain to process your childhood trauma and build your own system to reinforce your positive beliefs. I recently encountered a book called Tools of Titans. This book talks about tactics, routines, and habits of billionaires and icons and world-class performers. One common thing that I noticed is having your own system is essential in reaching your goals. Tim Ferriss says losers have goals, winners have systems. I can simply say I want to let go of my past and forget about what happened. However, without a specific tool and system, my past will always come back and drain my body and mind. To access your higher brain function, I like to borrow one of the CBT skills, cognitive behavioral therapy, called ABCmodel. ABCmodel is an acronym for activating event, the beliefs, and the consequences. The name of the game is bottom-up process, which means we regulate our body first and then regulate our mind. In the description box, I share our previous session on different tools to regulate and relax our body. When your body feels at ease, you can reap the full benefit of this ABC model as well as the relaxed mind. Alright, let's practice together. It will be helpful to have a pen and paper handy to write down your childhood trauma memories and track your progress. Alright, first, I want you to find a comfortable and safe place to lay down or sit down. And I want you to think about the recent trigger, just like we did in our last session. And this time, I want you to notice your feelings and your bodily sensations and the picture associated with that trigger. My recent trigger is something to do with COVID-19, the coronavirus. When this whole pandemic happened, I noticed feeling anxiety inside. My heart rate was going up. My breathing gets really rapid, and I noticed some tension around my neck. The picture that I see is I was walking into the office and seeing my boss' unhappy face. So with that trigger, let's think about your childhood trauma. So let's connect dots between what's happening now and what happened during your childhood. Is there similarities? So with that trigger, allow your mind to flow back to your childhood memories where you felt the same physical sensations and emotions. So I don't want you to go into the memory. So I want you to get out of your mind and look at the paper in front of you and write down each related memory in a few sentences. I don't want you to write a whole paragraph, just a couple sentences. Alright, now that you have a brief description of each memory, I want you to identify negative beliefs or negative thoughts which led to negative consequences. And here's some example of negative beliefs. So one of my negative beliefs due to my childhood trauma is I am inadequate. I'm not good enough. I remember my dad was very unhappy about my exam score because I pretty much failed my test. And he looked at me very aggressively, and I remember he was giving me very harsh punishment. I remember I was grounded for a couple of weeks and I was spanked pretty badly. Alright, with that, I want you to notice your physical, emotional state with the negative beliefs and consequences. What emotion did you feel at the time? What sensation did you have in your body? Let's take a moment to notice that. Going back to my childhood trauma, I remember being spanked and had a lot of pain in my butt. And I planted my feet on the ground trying to hold myself. I remember that experience itself was very dreadful. My heart was pounding crazy and I had hot flash around my face. So my body was getting ready to get hit. Alright, now let's access the higher brain function. Let's identify evidence for and against your negative beliefs. For example, evidences for being inadequate due to my childhood trauma was failing my exam. My dad was very judgmental and I was spanked by him and I was grounded for a couple weeks. Those are all evidence that support and reinforce my negative belief. The evidence against my negative belief being inadequate are now being able to have a job, being able to make a living, and being able to pay my bills, and being able to support my family, and being able to make YouTube videos. Now that I'm able to look at the evidence for and against my negative belief, I'm able to believe that I am resilient, which is my positive belief. And also I am independent. And I'll give you examples of positive or neutral beliefs here. Due to believing my positive beliefs, I am resilient and independent. I'm able to think about positive consequences. For example, I can think about having better time management and having a better social network skills so that I can expand my business. I can expand what I want to do in my life. One thing that I do on a daily basis is I come up with at least one idea to support my positive belief. Let's say I am independent. One idea is I'm able to cook, or I'm able to exercise, I'm able to go to stores on my own, or I can just send out emails to people to let people know about my YouTube channel. And I want you to take your time to process other traumatic memories that you came up with. You don't have to process all the memories that you have today because it could be very overwhelming. So trauma processing must be done at your pace. So find your pace to process each memory at a time. Again, if you feel overwhelmed by your trauma, please stop and use your coping skills or relaxation skill to stabilize your body and mind again. I'm a firm believer that a little bit of progress and control that we're making can change the trajectory of your life. So take care of yourself and do your healing every day.